is Dr. James Hefner, the president of Tennessee State University, and this show represents a summary of some of his accomplishments at Tennessee State University. And of course, Dr. Hefner, what we'd like to do during this last segment is to give you an opportunity to talk about some of the things that were important in terms of your tenure at Tennessee State University and how you hope that you could move on beyond that and et cetera, whatever you wish to, however you wish to address that.
Well, first of all, I think that the motto, students matter most, I think it's a part of my lifestyle because I do think that students matter most. The lady who had so much influence on me at the undergraduate level that I was telling you about, Dr. Tate, said that students matter most. So I've emphasized that at TSU, and I came in with a certain number of students. We have now over 9,000 students at the university. We are the 8th or 9th largest black college in America. It was not always the case, but we also want to grow with quality. It's good to talk about quantity, but you also want to grow with quality, so we've done that. The other thing is with the faculty. We have an extraordinary faculty. In fact, our faculty is so good that we lead the state in terms of research productivity. When I came to TSU in 1991, we were around $6 to $7 million in research. Now we are $41 million. We lead all of the institutions of higher learning in the Tennessee Board of Regents system. Only 2 other institutions outdo us, and that is the Vanderbilt University and, of course, the University of Tennessee. But we are #1 among the institutions of higher learning in the TBR system at $41 million. The other thing I want to do is I wanted to create an environment where a beautiful campus where people would know that here's an institution that cares about itself with plazas and courtyards and things of that sort. A beautiful campus with good students and a fine faculty. Those are the things that I think make up a university. The last thing I think is important, and that is the values that you try to exude to people around you. And that is this, that diversity is extraordinarily important. All of us should be about diversity. But the heritage of TSU is primary as far as I'm concerned. I think that that heritage of producing an Oprah Winfrey, producing a Ralph Boston or Wilma Rudolph, of producing the outstanding graduates that we have produced over time, that heritage should remain at the same time within the midst of diversity. So TSU is moving into an era where diversity is very, very important, and there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, though, I have tried to hold on to the heritage of that university to make sure that people understand that we have done an extraordinary job since 1912.
And of course, Dr. Hefner, I think you mentioned your faculty. Why don't you speak to some of the accomplishments of that faculty? Because I think that, you know, you've got them all out in space and they're collecting money and et cetera.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Some of the accomplishments.
Well, of course, we are very good in astrophysics and astronomy, and we are the first institution in the world to discover the planet outside of our solar system. So that is extraordinarily important, and I very much appreciate that. You take our College of Business. At one time, only Tennessee State and Vanderbilt had accredited colleges of business. Just recently, Belmont became accredited. But here you have an institution that's one of the smallest institutions in the Tennessee Board of Regents system that has a faculty that produces research that are worldwide. Their achievements extraordinary. You have students who read papers. You have a lot of things going on that I'm very, very proud of. And that faculty, primarily made up of PhDs, many of whom write books and articles and things of that sort. I am proud of all the things that they've been able to do. And they have made me what I am today. And I think a very good president of a wonderful institution in Tennessee.
You know, I was thinking, Dr. Hefner, you mentioned the faculty, and I think that there was something that came out of your business school indicating the impact that the economic impact, I think, that Tennessee State University has had upon Greater Nashville, and et cetera. Speak to that, because I think that a lot of folks don't seem to understand.
Well, I wanted people to understand the impact of TSU, because I think that TSU is Nashville's best kept secret. And so I said, I want one of you, and I even picked out the economist to do it, since I have a PhD in economics. And so I want you to look at the economic impact of TSU on the city, and it came out to be $500 million. And when I told people this, and when it was written in the newspaper, they said, how can that be? But that is it. This university means so much to this city that if you were to get rid of TSU, you have to reinvent it because of the impact that it has had on employment, on all the variables that you look at in terms of economic stability for this city and for this state. And I think that people now have to understand that that school outside, out where the Cumberland River is located, that is a school to reckon with. And that is a school that you should not take for granted. And too long that has happened. And I'm saying to everyone who listens, do not take TSU for granted, because it is a tremendous resource for this state and for this nation.
And Dr. Hefner, I understand that as part of all of that, that there has been a different attitude over the last decade in terms of how people, and especially people in the business community and other political community as well, have sort of viewed Tennessee State University. And let's speak to that.
I think you're right about that, and I think that credit is due to the faculty and students that we have produced. Some people say that I have made a difference, but I look at my faculty and students and the achievements. One thing that people need to know, and that is that something is going on at TSU. And so if you read the newspapers, you'll find all the achievements that we've done, and our faculty and students, and those things have changed mindsets, and that's important.
You know, over the last we've got 3 minutes here, and what I would like for you to do, Dr. Hefner, is to take this time to talk to not college students. We've had an opportunity over the last couple of weeks to deal with middle grade students in these middle schools. And we have some real problems in terms of those middle schools. And I would like for you to take for the next 2 or 3 minutes to talk to these young people about how very, very important it is that they move away from violence, develop this. Go and speak to them so that they can hear it from somebody like yourself.
I think that if Jesse Jackson and James Hefner, Jesse Jackson and I were schoolmates, I think that if two people who come from poor environments, where Jesse did not have a father, I had both my parents, we had to work our way through school. If we could make it, then I think that a lot of other people can make it as well. I think that young people need to understand the importance of education, and that there is a horizon out there that if they stretch, if they dream long enough and hard enough, they can achieve what Jesse Jackson achieved and what Jesse Russell, who perfected the cellular telephone and graduated from Tennessee State, and came from a very poor area in Nashville. Here's a young man, when you look at a cellular telephone, he brought it to practicality. Jesse Russell. He graduated from Tennessee State in electrical engineering, went to Stanford, and then he went to AT&T and headed up wireless technology. If he can do it, coming out of a very poor area in Nashville, then you can do it as well.
That they must be inspired and they must have some kind of vision in terms of what is possible.
That's right. And I think that's very, very important. I had the vision from 3 extraordinary presidents, and they kept me along the path that I think has served me well.
And of course, Dr. Hefner, over this last minute that we have here, let me simply thank you for coming by and being with us today. I'm just delighted to have had an opportunity to work with you on this particular show over the last 10 or 12 years. We've had you on many, many times, and each time that we have you on, you bring us such excellent information, and I think more than just the information, I think it's the encouragement that you bring. It gives our young people an opportunity to see what is possible, you see, and if they know that you did not just walk into Tennessee State University as the president of Tennessee State University, that there's a long road and there's a long career behind you, and we want to sort of emphasize that and take knowledge of that. And let me thank you for coming by and being with us, and let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.